I went live just as I started fucking around with my mic. Sorry about that. So I've decided that while I'm going through this whole thing, I'm going to probably do a little bit of streaming here and there. Just, now and again, give you guys some updates. It may be more frequent, it may be less frequent, depending on everything that's going on, because I got a lot going on. You know, all the potential of terrible things happening aside, man, cancer's a pain in the ass. I mean, I'm getting hit in every direction with appointments and, this person asking this question that I don't have an answer to. And, then I have to call this other person to get that answer, call the first person back. And they're like, oh, wait, but that wasn't the information we needed. At which point I'm like, oh, man, and so like neither the VA nor the hospital that's going to be treating me, because I had to go out in the community to do this, neither the VA nor this particular hospital have been wonderful about talking to each other, which is annoying because the VA is the one that sent me to this cancer center. So yeah, so I have to get the VA to talk to the cancer center. I have to get the cancer center to understand what the VA is sending to them. I have to try to get in touch with my primary care doctor again and again and again and again and find out she's on vacation. Yay. So there's just been, all kinds of dumb administrivia and other silliness. Hi there, hero of Sparta. How's it going? So there's just stupid shit going on. It's almost like the whole framework that you have to put cancer treatment on is just as mind-bogglingly counterintuitive as they can possibly make it. I understand why there's so many hoops to jump through, because you don't want to miss anything. This is the big C. You can't play. So, I've got all this bullshit going on, and, depending on how much of this stuff is happening, I may be more or less active as far as giving people updates as to what's going on. And so far, not much has changed. I'm having some minor harassment issues still, and I'm pretty much thinking that that's just a function of the fact that, I've decided to become a little bit more vocal again instead of just like ignore everybody until I get my EAS content really ready to rock. And it is what it is. Yeah, and just thinking about sleep, huh? I can't even think about sleep right now. Yeah, Hero of Sparta says, just thinking about sleep right now. Don't think it's going to happen, though. Well, I don't know if it's going to happen for me either, but I aim to try. As you can imagine, I've been having a little bit of funny sleep lately. It's been a little rough, because it's like when the house is quiet, you got a cat purring next to you, and everything's kind of chill. That is when your brain monsters start going, and then catastrophizing every other fucking thing. And oh my God, what if I'm in the hospital for 2 weeks or some shit like that? Or, what if they find something else? What if it's metastasized? What if other bullshit is going on? What if they find a different kind of cancer entirely? Hey, I've got cancer of the big toe. I wonder what they would call that. I don't know. I'm trying to maintain a stance of staying completely upbeat about this, keeping the mood up, staying chill, because every time I start to get scared, that that isn't doing me any good as somebody that is fighting a situation like cancer. The problem with illnesses like cancer, chronic pain, a lot of stuff, lupus is another one, other autoimmune things, is stress is your worst enemy. If you start tripping about something and like freaking yourself out, chances are you're making your own recovery more difficult. And I'm just not, I'm trying to do the best I can with that. And part of that is point and laugh at every single part of this entire journey that I'm on. And it is kind of a journey. Actually, you know what it is? It's a great big pain in the ass. And some of that is keeping myself occupied, which is another reason why I might stream once in a while. It just kind of keeps me busy, keeps me focused, and I'm not sitting there thinking about, how the thyroid gland is supposed to be shaped like a butterfly. Well, mine is the obese butterfly. It's even more obese than I am. Oh my God, I saw a picture of it on the ultrasound, because what they do with the fine needle aspiration biopsy that I had done is it's guided by an ultrasound technician. And I said, I want to see my thyroid. Can you show me the outline? And I mean, this team is so amazing. So they turn the monitor to where I can actually see it. And she takes a stylus and she kind of draws the outline of it. It wasn't on the screen or anything. She was just like kind of tracing around so I could see the different areas, like the different changes of level to where I could tell what the shape of it is. And that doesn't look fucking anything like a thyroid. It's unrecognizable. As I said before, I've really kind of got fibrous tissue and nodules from what it looked like to me. So that's not a lot of fun, thinking, oh, look at that. That's awesome. My body went completely batshit. And so I call it the obese butterfly, because it kind of is. And I'm trying to stay interested. I'm trying to stay focused, and I'm trying to stay unafraid. Just plant my feet and go, no, you can't get me, and mock it. And I'm actually feeling pretty good about the way things are going. Yeah, there are speed bumps and, as I said, administrivia bullshit that goes on, but overall, I feel like I'm in pretty damn good hands. And there's just a couple of things that I've got to make sure get squared away. One of those things is, as I said, making sure the cats are taken care of. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing some fundraising. I'm going to be making sure that the things that need to be taken care of are taken care of. And these people are going on, oh, you're trying to grift. Okay, motherfucker, my name isn't Shani, for Christ. I'm not here begging for foods. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I have cancer, and I don't know how long they're going to slap my ass in that hospital for. So there's a chance I could have to pay for a pet sitter for a while. And my cats are on expensive cat food anyway. And guys, I am not going to sit there in a hospital gown. I want a pair of damn jammies. And I don't want $500 jammies. $29.95 will be just fine. That's if you can find clothing that's $29.95 if you're fat, which you can't. So it's just little shits like that. I just kind of want to make sure that I've got any potential problem handled before it becomes a problem. Which, socking aside a little bit of extra money would be a good thing. And I have between now and March the 2nd. And that's not enough time for me to sock things aside with doing tarot readings or other stuff like that. I have to kind of like go, hey guys, help. Now, do I think I could do it without the help? Probably, but the word probably and my cats don't need to be in the same situation. I don't want to risk them. They need to be kept safe. You get the idea. So yeah, if I was going to be grifting, I would be looking for, oh no, I need $30,000. That's not what I'm doing. And if you want, I'll show you exactly what that money gets spent on. It's going to be cat food, a pair of hospital jammies, and making sure my pet sitter gets paid and tipped well. So, what you choose to do or think about that is up to you. Either way, that doesn't change my actions in the slightest. I am going to just continue to keep working on this. And I'm sorry if you don't like people that fundraise. I'm sorry if you got some kind of a problem with me as a human. Here's a little bit of a suggestion. If you have a problem with me as a human, why don't you not watch me? Why don't you just walk away? Because, there are some people that I still talk to from the whole Kino and commute and drama and bullshit and let's fuck with each other's life communities. There's still some people I talk to that I met there that are wonderful people. But for the most part, I've moved on. I got a little bit of a lesson taught to me, like last night. I won't go into what, but I was kind of in no uncertain terms, told without being told what the perception of me is, and that's okay. Y'all just carry on smartly, have fun over there. And then on top of everything else, I get a phone call a couple hours ago now. That's one reason why I'm kind of like jittery and awake right now. I get a phone call from local police department, and fortunately they didn't come out this time, but some motherfucker has once again tried to swat me. Can y'all stop? Because it's not going to work. I've made sure it isn't going to work. Every time you do this, I generate a police report number, and it's not going to work, dude. So, just what's going to wind up happening is the people that are doing this are going to wind up getting themselves arrested, which I actually don't want for them. I don't want that for anybody because our legal system is ass. And either the wrong guys get out, or the right guys go to jail, or some other bullshit happens and some motherfucker's left in his cell until he dies of dehydration. That happened. You can look it up. So I wouldn't risk anybody getting swallowed up into the legal system unless they actually did something that was physically threatening, like show up here. Which is a really hilarious thing because I had somebody that is no longer a friend of mine try to be all fucking Heisenberg at me. I'm like, I am the one who knocks. And I'm like, okay, that's okay. That's fine. Nice of you to admit that to me. But yeah. So there's really no malice toward anyone. But if you don't like me, you don't like what I'm doing, leave me alone. Don't come in this stream and tell me I'm going to look like a thumb when my hair falls out. Don't come in this stream and try to tell me that the bruising on the base of my neck isn't a real biopsy, because it's a real biopsy. And I can fucking prove that it is a real biopsy. But this is the thing. Y'all aren't entitled to my medical records. I don't have anything to prove to you. Now, I did show some proof last night. I did show my procedural paperwork for total thyroidectomy last night with the appointment on it and all folded up where it'd been in my purse. And I was told that wasn't real either. There is something, and I know I'm not the only person that feels this way. There is something really super triggering about you're sitting here and you're telling exactly the unvarnished truth about some shit. And you got motherfuckers going, oh, well, that's not really what's happening. That's not real. That's not real. And it's very fucking annoying. And I got pissed off. And, I know I should basically be considering this source, because some of you guys are really great people, but some of y'all are scumbags. Come in and say you're going to look like a thumb when all your hair falls out. I spoke to my psychiatrist today, because the minute he found out that I had the diagnosis, because he did see that as he was looking through my record. So he calls me up and he's like, hey, I heard, are you okay? I'm like, yes, actually, I'm fine, doc. And I told him what happened. And it sounded like he dropped something big on his desk. I just heard this thump and he goes, you've got to be kidding. I'm like, no, I'm not kidding. And then he wanted me to call him, do a video voice connect with him, or, just a video connect with him. And I showed him the mark, and he's looked at, that's fucking obviously a biopsy. And he's like, yes, that is obviously a biopsy. Psychiatrists, they're medical doctors. And medical doctors, sometimes they have to see things like that. They have to do residencies. They have to do internships. So there's a chance that they've probably seen somebody get a thyroid biopsy, considering that thyroid cancer is the most common cancer that we see. Also the most treatable. So we had a conversation about that, and he kind of helped me work through some of the anger, some of the frustration, because, this whole trolliverse pack of assholes type thing that goes on, just, no, okay? you don't like me, don't watch me. Simple. If you don't agree with me asking for a little bit of help because I have a big thing that's coming up in very, very short time, don't donate. You don't have to come in here and start calling me names and behaving like a complete asshole. You know, it's really easy to go away and leave bells alone. I promise I'm not going to chase you around. There are a couple of people that I am angry enough to chase them around, but I'm not going to do it. There's no reason for it. You know, why would I want to chase somebody around that I dislike? I've used this analogy before, but it's like sniffing farts and complaining that it stinks. There's no point to that. Now, in other news, I've been doing a lot of cooking, which is going to sound surprising considering I can barely fucking swallow anything. So what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to find things that I can mince up nice and fine, or in this case shred, you know, to where it's going to go down easily and it's not going to cause an issue with getting stuck and causing me to choke. I came up with the most bomb-ass thing that was my soup stock and very carefully shredded chicken, make sure that I don't have any big pieces in there, and diced mushrooms. And just a little bit of sour cream, about a tablespoon, to kind of give it a sort of a cream soup type thing. And I put dill and I put just a touch of marjoram and thyme in there, tossed in a bay leaf, and I let it simmer until the stock reduced down a little bit. I went back into that kitchen, my children, and I dipped up a little bit of that badass sauce, because you got to taste stuff while you're cooking it. And I had a sip of it, and I was in Flavor Town. I'm going to just have to remember this recipe just on its own merits. I have a little diary that I use that I, kind of write stuff down when I've been cooking, and so I had that. And I wrote down what I had done, and I'm trying really hard not to get the hiccups again. Okay. Either you're going to hiccup or you're not going to hiccup. Fun fact, those hiccups, my frequent hiccups, that shit comes because of the thyroid. It's pushing on the nerves. It's making me have the hiccups. You should have seen the look on my face when my doctor told me that. Other things, the edema that I have in my feet and legs. Fun fact, problems in the thyroid can cause issues in your feet and legs, cause you to swell. So that's another thing that I'm kind of half-assed looking forward to getting this whole stupid ordeal done with. Because if I can get that edema down in my feet, it's going to make it easier for me to get into good shoes that I can use to ride on my cycle when I'm done with all of this, which in turn is enhancement to me losing the weight. The whole thing I want to do is just get healthier it doesn't take 6 months to come up to be as heavy as I am or as unwell as I am. So I'm giving this about the 5-year plan to really, really start turning my health around and start loving me as much as Apollo loves me. Apollo loves me. Oh my God, we love each other so much. What a 23 years, man. May the 1st is going to be 23 years for us. And, I've got every fucking reason in the world to live. And, I had to talk to somebody the night that I got the diagnosis, because I did have a panic episode at one point. And so I called them just to kind of get my head out of that. And, one of the things that they have to do check-in questions, which is, do you feel like you're going to hurt yourself or somebody else? All the things that they ask to just, be sure that you're physically safe. And when she asked me, well, are you having any form of suicidal thoughts? I actually laughed that time. And you could hear the happiness in her voice as she responded to me going, obviously you're not. And I said, I got a cancer to beat. I got books to write. I got videos to make. I got friends to entertain. I've got people to point and laugh at who can also point and laugh at me. I have wonderful kitty cats, and I have a husband. I have a wonderful husband. So fuck no, I don't feel like hurting myself. And I don't want to hurt anybody else or see them hurt either. I want you guys to have peace. I want you guys to have prosperity. And as I said before, if you take nothing else away from this series of challenges I have in my life right now, take this with you. Whoever's next to you, if you love that person, you hug them. Hug them more than you already do. If you've got a puppy or a kitty or a scaly or a horsey or a birdie or even a good solid tarantula, interact with your companion. I know tarantulas are really kind of not handleable pets. You shouldn't pick them up. Desperately fragile. But you can pet your horses, your birds, your kitties, and your puppies. And hell, if you got a bearded dragon, they love to be petted too. I have a friend who's got a beautiful lemon bearded dragon. The goddamn thing is huge. I didn't realize they got as big as this one is. And she's kind of a jasper color. She's really, really, really pretty. And I had no idea that they could actually want their humans as much as this one wants hers. The second my friend opens the lid to that enclosure, she's out of the enclosure. And she's not poking around in corners looking for a bug. And she's not trying to hide. She's going right for my friend, gets up on her, and either drapes across her shoulders or sits on her chest while she watches TV. And, they're just kind of TV buddies together. You'd be shocked at how friendly herps can actually be, whether it be a snecko or a lizzo or whatever. So if you got a pet, do something that pet likes. Even a tarantula is going to love you if you give her a big fat cricket or something. Well, actually, not crickets. Currently, they say don't feed crickets because crickets can have mites. I guess it do be a roach. That's way back in the day. The big roaches are what I was feeding mine. But yeah, so like if you got a tarantula, flick her a big fat dubia roach or something. Love your pets, love the people around you, love your environment. If you see some shit lying on the ground, pick it up. It's not going to hurt you to like walk 6 steps over and throw it in trash. You see somebody giving somebody else a hard time, just, don't go over there and be all like white knight or something like that, but just move a little closer. And because often when people realize that they're being listened to by somebody else when they're acting out in a weird way, usually they will stop. And that's all you should be doing is, maybe just like bringing the energy down a little bit by being a positive presence. What I'm telling you is crystallized into one simple thing. Try and make the world around you suck less. Not just for you, but people near you. You see somebody struggling to get that box onto the bus when they're trying to get on the bus? Help them. You see some lady that's fighting with a stroller and a very, very angry toddler while she's trying to get into Target or something? Help her. Somebody's like trying to pull whatever through a door and they're struggling with the door. Or better yet, some fat ass that's sitting in a fucking wheelchair that can't open the door and operate the wheelchair at the same time because of where the door handle is. Maybe open the door for them. It took me fucking 5 minutes to get into that building. It's a bead shop. I wasn't happy. But yeah, there are ways, and relatively low impact ways that take you 5 minutes or less. You can wind up making somebody's whole ass day just by showing a little bit of loving kindness. I got made fun of for the term loving kindness back when all the trolling started with me. And I let that scare me off of using the term. But I have cancer. Loving kindness is what is going to save me. And I want to pass that along to other people. I want to pay it forward, even as I'm in the fight. Show that loving kindness to people. Lift people up. Don't punch down. And I'm out of things to say. I've got about 5 more minutes if I decide to leave this set. And I'm not. I'm just going to go on ahead and get offline because I'm in the fight of my life, not just with cancer, but with fucking audacity right now. Ugh. Yeah, oh my God, the tutorials. Everything has a video tutorial. I don't like video tutorials. I like text tutorials. The reason is I don't like to have to keep going back and going back and going back when my dumb ass doesn't understand some particular thing in this technology that I've only been working toward using and, aggressively, and I want to say the past 3-4 months. So yeah, but yeah, just yeah. So I'm fighting with Audacity. I'm also going to be fighting some more with a combination of Vegas Pro or Premiere Pro. I haven't decided which one I like more yet. Vegas Pro comes extremely highly recommended by somebody close to me, but Premiere Pro, I'm more used to like the Adobe stuff. So, haven't gotten so far into Audition yet. I'm gonna probably see what I can get out of Audition in a little while here, but I want to kind of get my feet wet with Audacity first because Audition looks like it's a little bit more complex. And, then I also have stuff like After Effects and a few other things that I need to do too. Because one of the things that I'm going to need to do in an EAS video is you notice how, when you see an emergency alert system on a television or something, it's often not the best quality. I want to have some of that, little very, very slightly fuzzy, staticky, believable, okay, we're dealing with a serious emergency type stuff. It needs to be scary and it needs to be believable because I want to be able to immerse people and have them, really have some immersion in this horror story that is being told using the emergency alert system as the canvas. So After Effects is going to come in pretty handy for that. And also just for like making logos and shit like that. I'm already okay at Photoshop. I'm learning more stuff all the time. And that's another thing that I'm doing, which is, the middle finger up to cancer. It's like, I'm just not going to think about your ass when I don't have to be thinking about it. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to create stuff. I'm going to build things. I'm going to do my level best to scare the holy living shit out of everyone that watches me. Know who's never going to get monetized? Bells! Bells is never going to get monetized. I don't want to. Monetization means that YouTube gets a lot more money. And I don't want them getting that money off my back. Yes, I know that they're going to put ads on, for people that don't have that don't have what the fuck the premium one. I know that well, yeah, I'm giving the money with that, but it's just unfucking watchable with all the ads. It really is. And I really don't like running ad blockers when I'm watching favorite content creators of mine. I'm not so sure what happens with the people that are on the plus version. I can't remember. Why the fuck can't I remember what the fuck it's called right now? Probably because I want to remember what the fuck it's called right now. It's kind of like you're fixing a sneeze. You're like, don't sneeze, don't sneeze. Okay, go ahead and sneeze, and the sneeze crawls right back up your sinuses. Fuck you! Yeah, so, wow. Okay. I was going somewhere with this, and I can't remember where I was going with this, but that's typical for me, isn't it? So I'm just doing all kinds of learning and things like that, and, just trying to stay the fuck off of this. Make really cool shit for you guys to watch, interact with. I've been some of the stuff that I have been writing, like the preliminary scripts for some of the things that I have, kind of lean a little bit toward an ARG in some ways. I just don't have the technical chops yet to make something like that happen. So that's kind of like, down the road. Probably not as far down the road as 5 years, which is what I'm talking about. Let's get Bells healthier. But, I need to learn a whole lot more before I start trying to marry timelines together, let alone do things like the herding of cats that I'm going to have to do to have my whole team of voice actors. Yes, I have a group of voice actors. There are 10 people that are raring to go. that want to lend their voices to what I'm doing with EAS. And so hopefully, if, God's willing and the creek don't rise, as it were, hopefully I will have, I know I keep saying this, hopefully I will have an EAS out sooner as opposed to later. And I'm kind of really pushing myself right now because I would love to get the fucking thing done and then come out of recovery and have them take me to my room, get online, and then put it up there. It's like, yeah, fuck cancer. I'm still in the hospital in recovery after a neck dissection and my thyroid being taken out. And I'm still putting up an EAS. I'm nothing if not passionate. You gotta give me that. Anyway, it's been about half an hour. I've been sitting here talking about basically love and cancer. Oh, and art. Love and Cancer. That sounds like a good band name, doesn't it? Either way, I'm going to take off. So remember this. I love you all, except for this person behind me, Ma. I don't love you. In fact, I really kind of hope that you step in something soft. Nobody else step in anything soft. So take care. Don't get in trouble, or if you get in trouble, don't name it after me. Good night. And if you do step in something soft, leave them damn poop shoes outside the door. Good night.